Welcome to the Koso Konnections podcast, where the ancient art of Japanese fermentation science meets modern natural health. Embark with us on a journey of transformation, exploring age-old wellness practices through inspiring discussions, expert advice, and personal stories shared by experts and our customers. Discover how these traditions can revolutionize your health and well-being today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Koso Konnections. I'm your host, Lei, and joining me as always is my co-host, Sunshine. And let's not forget Dr. Z. Hello, everyone. Today we have a very special guest, one of Koso Med's partners, Ella Davar, RD. Ella is a renowned longevity dietitian, gut health nutritionist, and global wellness advocate. She is the founder of the Gut-Brain Method and author of Utarian Diet, Unlock Your Unique Bio-Individuality for Future Longevity. Her expertise combines over a decade in nutrition with pioneering work in integrative anti-aging nutrition protocols, gut microbiome interventions, and mindfulness techniques. Welcome, Ella.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for that warm welcome. It's great to be here.
Well, we are thrilled to have you with us today, Ella. You're here to discuss how to shape yourself into a masterpiece by improving quality of life with healthy gut bacteria. We're here to tell you Ella's programs focus on health optimization, weight management, stress reduction, improved digestion, and longevity habits. With over 200 published articles and appearances on major TV networks like NBC, TEDx, CBS, and more, Ella is a trusted voice in global wellness, contributing to platforms like Mind Body Green, Forbes, and Women's Health magazine. Whew. Wow, that's a lot.
Thank you, Lei. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
So, Ella, tell us about the importance of gut bacteria and how we can make fundamental changes.
Well, not many of us realize how the food that we eat truly affects our well-being. You've heard the oversimplified statement before, you are what you eat. And it's actually true. However, there's a lot of different metabolic processes that go on underneath your skin and inside your belly that affect your well-being. The food that you eat has the potential to influence your mood, your metabolism, your health outcomes, and it all comes down to how your gut is able to break down the food, absorb the food, ferment it, and therefore create all these biochemical hormones and neurotransmitters that affect our overall well-being. And the program that I created, it's called the Gut-Brain Method, where I help my clients to improve metabolic issues such as diabetes, or being overweight, or high blood pressure, and also improve our brain functioning for better energy levels, better mood, and better overall satisfaction with our life.
Yeah, great.
So, can you tell us briefly how exactly does gut bacteria impact our bodily functions?
Yeah, so the food that we eat, it has the potential to contribute to gut microbiome. Gut microbiome is the total bacterial makeup that resides inside our intestines. So from the moment you take a bite of your favorite piece of cake to the moment that you see it in the toilet bowl, it stays in your gut for 18 to 24 hours. And guess what happens to it? It ferments inside of you. And the gut-friendly bacteria helps us to do the gut's job, right? To ferment, to break down the nutrients, to ferment it, and to move it along, to absorb the toxins and bad cholesterol, and to move it along. And so it is the good foods that we eat, such as vegetables, farm fresh vegetables, or fermented vegetables, help us to grow the gut-friendly bacteria that helps our gut to do its job. And the gut unfriendly bacteria that grows and thrives on sugar, it thrives on stress and mindless eating, and all some of the things that we all prone to when we are highly, achieving, living life up the metropolitan and achieving many things. We all tend to overindulge or eat takeouts and that are made with trans oils or made with sugar or too much salt and not enough fiber and not enough fermented vegetables. And that's what happens when we grow the bad bacteria. And it's always the balance. It's which wolf do you feed? And that's what happens inside of our gut. And most of us don't realize how we're feeding the bad bacteria. And then we end up having symptoms. Symptoms, it starts off with skin issues, hair loss, and then low energy levels. And then it piles down into diagnosis, right? Because most people, they live their whole life with heartburn or bloating or constipation or diarrhea. And they call it a life because it's socially acceptable to live with those symptoms until we get a treatment or diagnosis, and that's when people start to create changes. And my job as a nutrition educator is to inspire, educate, and motivate people to take responsibility for their well-being before they receive the diagnosis.
Simply incredible. I guess that's what makes Ella special. I couldn't agree with her more than 100%. I'd say I agree with her 1,000%. All of us are watching and reading all the different gurus and journals that are out in the marketplace. And I would have to agree with Ella concerning the good bacteria and bad bacteria. But I would add also that enzymes are also very important. And for all of us that don't know what enzymes are, we could probably go into Chat GPT that would give you a quick explanation. However, there's a lot of great documentaries out there. I just watched one on Netflix, Hack Your Health, and I would suggest everybody to see that, because it will go into detail and describe how your body is functionally all bacteria. And feeding your good bacteria is quite important. But having said all that, I have more questions for Ella. What would be, in your opinion, the common issue for most people concerning their gut health, especially with the modern diets? And we all know that modern diets are fast foods, convenience stores, instant noodles, and things like that. So Ella, please elaborate if you don't mind.
Well, there's a few issues. In my practice, when I test people, one of the health concerns that I see when it comes to the gut health is inflammation. Inflammation with high intake on inflammatory foods and low intake of fiber. I also see dysbiosis, similar to what I described earlier. Dysbiosis, an overgrowth of bad bacteria and not enough of good bacteria. And then we also see metabolic imbalances as your gut's inability to metabolize short-chain fatty acids, and as well as the maldigestion. And maldigestion is what you described earlier, is when our body is shutting down the enzyme release, and there's an insufficient enzymatic production in our body. And this way, most people can't even absorb all the good foods or the supplements that they're taking. And we need to unwind and start from the root cause before they invest all the money in the good foods. We need to make sure that their body is able to break down and absorb the nutrients. So maldigestion is hugely underrated and undiagnosed. And that's what happens when we're leading a very stressful lifestyle, when your body is not able to switch into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for rest and digest. Most of us are leading a stressful lifestyle in the fight or flight mode, which is sympathetic nervous system. And that's when your body is not prioritizing digestion, not producing enzymes. And that's when we need to provide support. Especially if we are leading, such lifestyle, we all need a little bit extra support. And the last one is some infections. I see a lot of infections when it comes to gut health, things like parasites, yeast, and fungi overgrowth, and it all stems from dysbiosis as well. So if we're not feeding the good bacteria, the bad ones take over, and it produces a field for bacteria or fungi or yeast to grow and thrive inside of us.
Yeah. So how are you helping your clients heal? And what are your best tips?
Well, we start with the diet. As I started this interview, you are what you eat. It's very important that we incorporate higher fiber intake, more vegetables, diversity of vegetables. That's another problem when I work with people. People say, like, yeah, I eat broccoli once in a while and spinach. Like, that's not enough. Your gut microbiome needs diversity of bacteria, right? So I always encourage people to eat different types of vegetables, different types of proteins. But then, when the lifestyle takes over, people are just asking me for quick solutions. And that's when, thank God to Koso Med Productions, I'm able to recommend a quick solution to my clients. Something that even if you travel, even if you're leading a busy lifestyle, you're still able to take great care of your gut and the root cause of so many symptoms to prevent that. So the fermented vegetables and the variety, over 100 different vegetables, that really does the trick and solves that issue for me. But overall, the diet and the stress management are my top recommendations.
Right, of course. While we're interested in knowing your connection with Koso Med, it seems like a perfect fit for your program. Can you please tell us more about it?
Yes. When I learned about Koso Med around a year ago, I was fascinated with it to the point where I was like, I want to make it mine. If I were, as a clinical dietitian, if I were to produce a product, that's what I would do. I would open up a farm, I would grow my own vegetables, and I would invite my clients to see how vegetables are grown, how they're taken care of. Or I teach my clients how to grow their own vegetables. There's different plants that people are now able to grow in urban settings. And this way they create this beautiful relationship between their food and their produce and themselves. They see that vegetables are not grown in supermarkets in plastic bags. They're grown in plants. And Koso Med provides this fascinating opportunity to see that all those vegetables that are grown in the farm, they could be fermented and conveniently delivered to help people in urban settings to take advantage of it. And that's when I decided to establish my relationship with Koso Med, when I saw, number one, quality of the produce, that is Japanese agricultural standards, and it's over 100 different vegetables. Number two is the quality of the production, that it's fermented for a while, and it's contained probiotics and enzymes, and it's very important that it's not just powdered vegetables, but this way it's easier to digest and it helps my clients to optimize their gut microbiome. And number three is, as a dietitian, I saw the nutrient density. Nutrient density is very important to me. Yes, there's fermented vegetables, probiotic and enzymes, but there's also 40 grams of protein, high quality protein from soybeans. And that's something that I absolutely love recommending. We all need protein intake to prevent diabetes and increase our chances for longevity. And that's when I decided to create partnership with Koso Med, when I saw all three things in one package.
Oh, yes, all of those are true. And well, it's a Japanese company, and we all know the Japanese are number one or close to number one for longevity in the world.
Yes, I would sign off on that.
So, which of Koso Med products do you recommend, Ella? My personal favorite is the Koso Super Drink, the chocolate drink. I never thought I could enjoy a protein drink. The ones I've tried before were pretty chalky and they dry up. The texture, it dries up your mouth. So I'm wondering what you like best or what you would recommend to your clients.
Yes, protein shakes are very popular in America. And when I saw this one that solves so many problems in one, that it's got probiotic enzymes and high protein intake. So for me, that's definitely my go-to to recommend of how convenient it is and how beneficial it is. So that combines a lot of supplements in one, I would say. And in addition to that, I love the taste of it. So most of my clients and the colleagues that tasted, they all were surprised to see that it tastes like a hot chocolate drink, which is not something that we see with high function supplement drink, right? It's not a supplement drink. It's an addition to your lifestyle because of how delicious it is and how functional it is and how many issues it solves. So yeah, the cocoa flavor is incredible. Most people can't believe that it's a protein shake, and that's what I see such a great opportunity for Koso Med to take a marketplace here in America, because there's really no competitors. And I love the quality, as I mentioned earlier, the nutrient density, and the taste of it.
We do agree. And yeah, it's pretty impressive. I know Dr. Z has advocated for fermented, high quality grown soy protein, and definitely the use of our friendly, unique bacteria to enhance our depleted guts. Our listeners are definitely taking note.
Well, would you look at that? It's already time to end this episode. Any last words?
I do have some last words. Ella, thank you so much. It was really a pleasure. Ella touched upon the farm, and here at Koso Med, we're really proud that we can bring the farm directly to you. We do that through fermentation. And we'll have episodes back with Ella. We'll talk more about fermentation because it is an extremely interesting topic, and it will provide another avenue for those who are suffering from
I
health
love
gut
that.
issues.
Mhm.
Yeah, we will really dig much deeper, and we'll have a look at that. And we'll invite Ella back, and we'll have probably 3 or 4 sequential episodes where Ella can also elaborate on some of this, and we'll bring in some other experts as well to talk about fermentation and the benefits of not just eating probiotics. There's more to it, but we'll get into that into more detail in another episode. So thank you so much, Ella, for joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us, Ella. This has been very educational.
Thank you. See you in the next one.
Yeah, this has been such an eye opening conversation, and I can't wait to try some of the ideas and to get on to the next podcast with you. Thank you for joining us today, and to all our listeners out there, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, stay healthy and keep those stories coming.
Thank you.
See you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.